Peace, ladies. Welcome back to the Wholeness Channel. Today, I have a couple topics that I've been wanting to talk to you about. And first of all, how are you doing? I know it's been a while and I've been super busy, but I just wanted to reconnect with you and hopefully be more consistent here on YouTube. So, anyways, today I have a couple topics that I'm really excited to share with you. And the first thing is what it means to me to be a feminine woman living in America in the year 2024. But let me just start with our talks about femininity because I know you love these feminine energy type of videos. So, the first thing that has been on my heart a lot is kind of, it might seem common sense, but I think something that we're kind of missing right now is connecting to being a human being. And I think once we start connecting to our nature, that's when we can reclaim our nature as a feminine woman. And if we are not connected to our own nature, then it's going to put blockages in the way of our feminine energy. So, the first thing being, um, I'm seeing a lot of this culture of promoting promiscuity or casual sexual interactions or just casual dating. And a lot of this has detrimental effects on our spirit that we do not talk about. It has detrimental effects on our psychology or our mental health. And I know a lot of people are not ready to hear that, but I'm just going to keep it real on this channel. And if you know anything about me, I'm just going to tell you the truth, even if it might be uncomfortable or if it might be a taboo or um, unpopular opinion. So, um, the reason I share this with you is only to bring awareness and hopefully help some people out there. It's not to just be judgmental, and I know a lot of people, whether they see my headscarf or they know that, you know, sometimes people think that either religious people think they're better than other people because they don't, you know, whatever people think about religious people. I used to be one of those people because before I embraced my current way of life. However, when you start to really think about um, how our way of life affects ourself and society at a whole, things start clicking and falling into place. So, yes, this casual, sexual, hypersexual um, society is really causing us to be disconnected from what it actually means to be a woman. Because when we are, our presentation and the way we interact with others, the way we, um, the way we present ourselves, the way we behave, is so telling of the way we feel about ourselves. And if you always feel pressured to look sexy in like public places or like all the time, it's for one, it's draining. You feel like you have to look a certain way all the time and um, make sure you're impressing people. And honestly, it gets draining. And it's also um, it takes away from the actual experience that you might have with your husband one day. Um, and also, it gives people access to you who don't deserve access to your energy, to your femininity, and it's pretty much just giving people, even people you don't know, who may not have good intentions for you or who just simply don't deserve to be benefiting from you, it gives them access to you. Um, so, back in the olden days, people, men really had to work to um, be in a woman's life. And they had to work to get to access a woman and all that comes with her feminine energy, her body, her mind, her spirit. But nowadays, women are devaluing themselves. And yes, I said devaluing themselves. And I know a lot of this goes against the grain of what mainstream media is teaching young women these days. But yeah, it does show a lack of self respect and a lack of um, value when you put yourself out there like you are for sale. Okay, um, you're not for sale, you're not a product, so you don't have to try to sell your looks. Yes, that is a type of trying to sell yourself. And let's not even get into uh, this. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it, ladies, because I think it's so important to talk about. A big push in our society right now is making prostitution glamorous, or trying to make people perceive it to be glamorous. And if you don't believe me, for example, I don't know how many of you, actually, I'm not going to say something I don't know, but I know that there are certain people in the music industry who were either strippers before they uh, came to be like an A or B list celebrity, who get all these opportunities and who get to make a lot of money. And there's a reason why they are putting these people in front of you and I. Okay, it's obviously influence, and it's obviously to try to make you believe that any type of prostitution, whether it actually is you physically selling your body, or if it's just levels, because don't forget there is levels to this, ladies. um, OnlyFans is popular. I would argue and say that's a form of prostitution. Even if you're not physically giving your body, you're still giving your image, your energy, your time. Um, so even a picture of you, a video of you, um, anything, there's levels to Hodem. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Sorry. Sorry I had to say it like that, but this is way too important to not just be straight up with you. So, anyways, this type of stuff, even though a lot of people make it seem like it's liberating and it's freedom and a woman could do whatever she wants to do with her body, technically, yeah, you can. You have free will, but no one tells you how detrimental it is to your well-being. So I'll be that one to warn you about that. And if you don't want to take my advice, that's completely fine. But that's what this channel is about, trying to help you with your femininity, with your well-being, with your spiritual, connecting to your spiritual health, your spiritual, your well-being, your overall well-being as a woman. So, anyways, that is one way we are very disconnected from what it means to truly be a woman. Now, a woman is a human being, and a man is a human being. I see a lot of this too, where women tend to dehumanize themselves and dehumanize men, and we don't know what it actually means to treat ourselves and treat other people like a human. For me, it has a lot to do with respect, it has a lot to do with self respect, and it has a lot to do with respect of others. So, respect for others can look like respecting that someone has their own mind, values, opinions, that they're a human being just like you and I, no matter your race, ethnicity, skin color, um, all of that stuff. So, acknowledging your humanness. Self respect to me looks like treating yourself the way you would want, the way, the golden rule, treat yourself the way you want to be treated, but also treat yourself the way you were taught to treat other people. A lot of times women tend to bring themselves down, talk down on themselves, and that's not healthy at all. If you wouldn't talk to a best friend or a sister or a mother the way you talk to yourself, you need to change your language. Um, So, all of these things, the way you perceive yourself is definitely going to reflect in the way you carry yourself in all aspects, the way you dress, the way you behave, the way you speak, the way you treat yourself and other people. It's going to show. So, another thing that has been on my mind a lot is the way that women, a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women in America right now dehumanize men. And one of the ways that they do that is by, I don't know, it's just like the attitude, um, the way we speak about men as if they're not also a human being, like they don't have feelings, like they don't have um, all these human emotions, same emotions that women go through. One example I could think of at the moment is the way that a lot of women tend to generalize men as if they are all bad, or they're all sexual predators, or they're all the same. It's just not true. Maybe that's what is being shown to you in media, but in the real world, that's not it. And I'm always thinking, like, wondering, at what point do you see a little boy and you start to dehumanize him? At what age does that happen? Um, so I just think it's time for us to really connect to our humanness. And once you connect to your humanness, and you will see the humanness in other people, and you will start to see the value that men bring and that women bring. And there is so many differences in the way that we were created. So women and men are not the same. We are made different for different purposes, and they're both extremely necessary. And none of us would be here to be speaking about anything if it weren't for a man and a woman. Period. That's just the truth. Once you could see that there is a value to a man, and you stop treating him with no dignity, no honor. You don't see, you just think a lot of men are just toxic, like the term toxic masculinity. How come there's not a term for toxic femininity? It's because they're trying to turn you against the man. Okay, that's just the truth. So, see the value that a man brings in your life, whether it is your father, your brother, your husband, your cousin, whoever it is. Um, there are definitely things that they can do that we can't do, and there are definitely things that a woman can do that a man cannot do. My little analogy I always like to think of is, imagine you are eating soup and you have a few utensils, right? And you're like, you know what, I'm gonna use this fork to eat the soup. It's honestly just unintelligent, and it's just like, why? You have a spoon right here, it's made for this. That's the same exact thing what I think about when a woman says she doesn't need a man, or that they're useless. I have a reality check for you, ladies. This world is centered around women, and it's centered around making the woman's life more comfortable, more easy for you, and that is just literally the way we were created in nature. So I know people will be like, but there's childbirth. Yes, that is probably the one thing that is extremely challenging, but honestly, everything else, if a man is living true to his nature and a woman is living true to her nature, that's probably the only thing that you can try to debate. And I'm not taking away the beauty or the strength or the just the amazing fact that women give birth. But that is the whole point. The reason that we are supposed to be protected by a man and provided for by a man, and we're supposed to be living in our soft girl era. Yes, every woman is supposed to be living in her soft girl era, but the problem is we're disconnected. Men and women are disconnected. And honestly, I think it has a lot to do with stemming from this push of hypersexuality, especially on the women's side. So think about it. If a man's existence is centered around a woman, there has to be some type of motivation for him to want to give his life for you, for him to want to protect you, to go out there and get money or resources and provide for you. There has to be some type of motivation and reward for him. Because who wants to give their life for someone who's unappreciative, who gives access to other people, who gives access to their femininity? The reward for the man is your feminine energy. Okay? So the reason you might not be connecting with a man that you want is because you are not exclusive to him. This is just the way nature works. And if you have a problem, you think you have a problem with men and their nature, whether that be him wanting that exclusivity of you, wanting you to either cover up a little bit more as far as your dressing, or if you have a problem with him being attracted to other women, just know that you don't have a problem with him. You have a problem with the way he was created. You have a problem with the way God created him. And look, we don't have all the wisdom and the knowledge. The creator has all the wisdom and the knowledge. So there is a reason why certain things are the way they are. It's called divine order or natural order. Okay? So you can go ahead and try to run away from natural order all you want, but it's really just going to end up making your life more difficult and more confusing in the long run. But do what you want. You have free will. I'm just here to shed some light on these things that people don't talk about. So if you have a problem with the way the man is created, you are never going to appreciate yourself. You're never going to see the value in him, which equals you won't see the value in yourself. The reason is because we are supposed to be working as a team. He brings this part, you bring this part. So you could see that both of these pieces are essential to life. It's like you can't have the positive without the negative, the night without the day. You can go on and on. The positive and negative charges creates energy and electricity. So once you understand that, you'll be able to embrace that and see the beauty in it and see how absolutely amazing that is. Once you're able to at least acknowledge that a man has worth and that a man is a human being, then you will see that in yourself and you will see, oh, okay, I see where my beauty comes in. I see where my purpose comes in. The purpose of a woman is to bring nurturing energy, is to bring the love, the balance. You know, men and women balance each other. So a woman brings softness. She brings extreme love because women are extremely emotional. And on one end, we could be extremely venomous. On the other end, we could be extremely loving and caring. So it's there is two sides to this, you know. There is toxic femininity as well. But I don't even want to use those terms because I don't align with those terms. I just think there is toxic ways to be a human being, toxic behavior. A woman and a man are both human beings. So, um, anyways, it's kind of a rant, but this is just stuff that I've been really needing to talk about. And anyways, along with that, so once you see all the beauty in how the world works and how life is brought, um, how it just comes to be between these two polar energies, and you see that they come together and create life, and you see, wow, I can actually be a part of that, appreciate that. um, then you could start talking about femininity. But I don't think a lot of us are there yet, to where we see the humanness in each other, see the humanness in ourselves. where a lot of women are just treating themselves like a product to be sold, a product to be bought. So I hope that helps. I hope that brings some things. Um, I hope that you consider what I'm saying, even though it might come off as judgmental or as hateful. You know, a lot of people tend to lie, honestly. It's a lie. But anyways, I will give you a few tips on feminine energy. So, one of them, if you are now this soft feminine woman, you are more receptive, especially to help. If a woman or a man reaches out to help you, you just say thank you. If you get a compliment, you just say thank you. You are open to receiving blessings, you are open to receiving help. Another piece of being a feminine woman is embracing your softness. So you don't have to use aggressive masculine behavior to get what you want. You recognize that your actual power is in softness, is in kindness, is in giving a smile, is in being kind. You recognize that is more powerful than you trying to compete with a man, and it's just you're never going to be able to actually compete. It's kind of laughable. It's not really possible because you are a woman. Okay. So you will be able to embrace being softer means, like I said, the way you behave, the way you treat yourself and other people. You're also taking care of yourself. You're more nurturing. So the more that you do your self-care, or you work out, you eat healthy, you cook, you do something creative, all these things gets you into a creative flow state, which is essentially going to take the stress off of yourself so you can truly be who you are. One misconception I think people have about um, femininity is that femininity means you are glamorous, you are beautiful, and you have a certain lifestyle. You have the clothing, you have this and that, but it has nothing to do with that. That's just kind of like an expression of femininity in some ways. However, the true femininity is your energy. Um, and you need to protect your energy. You need to take care of yourself. When you take the stress off yourself, when you take care of your body, your mind, your spirit, and everything, you'll be able you those blockages will go away. So you'll be open to being who you are. Femininity is not something that you can create. You cannot create feminine energy. It was already created. You just hold a piece of it. You can also not destroy feminine energy. Okay? If we're talking about giving birth and giving life, it's one of the most um, creative, powerful forces known to us, um, as far as being a human being. The access of power that we have, that's probably the most powerful thing, is giving birth, giving life. So when we give life, we also bring up the life and we teach. And how are we going to be nurturing, caring, loving? How are we going to do that if we don't do that for ourselves first? Okay, so I really encourage you ladies to think about your soul, because a lot of people don't think it's important, or they tell you that it's non-existent. So if you're interested, this is available on our website. I will link it if you are interested in trying this out. Trust me, you're going to love this body oil. It's definitely one of my favorites. And anyways, that wraps up the video for today, and I'm really excited to get back into YouTube. I hope you're doing well, ladies, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.